A new female CEO just joined the company. She fired me on her very first day. Her reason: the company doesn't keep dead weight. I headed home with my termination notice. I pushed open the door, but then I saw those flashy red high heels of hers. The sound of running water was coming from the bathroom. "Young Chen, you're fired." That cold voice felt like ice shards in the dead of winter. It slammed right into my face. I looked up at the woman behind the desk. Lin Ruoshuang, our company's new parachuted CEO. She wore a perfectly tailored black suit. It showed off her incredible curves, paired with that expressionless, icy face. She was basically a walking hormone machine. Too bad she had to open her mouth. I packed up my things and asked calmly, "What's the reason?" Her tone was freezing. "The company doesn't keep dead weight," she said shortly. Her eyes were filled with blatant contempt. She continued, "I've seen your file, 3 years in, and your performance is mediocre. You clock in and out exactly on time. You never work overtime. Jiang Chen, are you here for a retirement home?" I just smiled and didn't argue. She was right. I was basically here to retire. 3 years ago, I got the marriage certificate of my dream. I married Su Yuning, the girl I'd crushed on for 10 years. My life goals were achieved the second we said I do. For the rest of my days, I just wanted to live a chill life with her. So, I used a tiny bit of my family connections, hid my identity, and joined this average company. I was an average employee, doing the 9 to 5 so I could cook for my wife. Weekends were for shopping and movies with her. Even the gods wouldn't trade a life like this. I stuffed the last of my things into the box and stood up. With a professional smile, "You're right, President Lin. I wish the company nothing but the best under your lead." With that, I turned and left. No anger, no resentment. I actually felt like laughing. Finally, no more work. I could spend 24 hours a day with my wife. Isn't this a total win? Behind me, Lin Ruoshuang seemed even more disgusted by my loser vibe. She let out a cold huff. I didn't care. I just walked faster with my box. On the way home, I even stopped by the market to buy a fresh sea bass, planning to make Su Yuning her favorite steamed fish for dinner. My wife, Su Yuning, is my angel, my light. She's gorgeous, has a great personality. She's gentle and kind. Her only flaw is being a bit of a mama's girl. But to me, that's just proof she was raised in a loving home. Marrying her was the luckiest thing ever. Just thinking about her made my steps feel so much lighter. I hummed a tune as I got back to our little love nest. I turned the key. "Babe, I'm home." I opened the door. The shoes at the entrance made me freeze. A pair of flashy, expensive, designer red high heels. I recognized those shoes. Earlier this morning, their owner was wearing them, stepping across my office floor as she signed my death warrant. Why the hell was Lin Ruoshuang here? My heart skipped a beat. A ridiculous feeling washed over me. Then, I heard it. The sound of the shower. I stood there, brain dead for about 3 seconds. Someone's in the shower. Lin Ruoshuang's shoes are at the door. So Lin Ruoshuang is showering in my house. Wait, where's my wife? A million wild tabloid headline flashed through my mind. Shocking. The secret between a pretty wife and an icy CEO. Man fired for no reason. Returns home to find. I took a deep breath and slammed the fish and the box onto the floor. The shower stopped instantly with a loud thud. A few seconds later, the bathroom door clicked open. I looked up fast. It wasn't some towel-wrapped Lin Ruoshuang, as I had imagined. It was my wife, Su Yuning. She was wearing her favorite pink bunny pajamas. Her damp hair was over her shoulders. Her little face was all flushed from the steam. She looked like a ripe peach. "Babe, you're back." Her eyes lit up when she saw me. She hopped over like a little bunny and dove right into my arms. That familiar scent hit me, and I finally relaxed. Thank God. I almost called the cops. I kissed the top of her head. "Yeah, I'm back. Why are you showering so early?" She nuzzled against me, then looked up, looking like she had a secret. "It's a secret, babe. I invited a friend over for dinner. Let me introduce you." As soon as she said that, someone else walked out of the bathroom. This time, it was Lin Ruoshuang. She was also in pajamas. The Blue Bear version of Su Yuning's set. Her hair was wet. Clearly, She had just finished showering too, without the power suit, and that freezing CEO vibe. She actually looked a lot softer, almost like she was at home. She was drying her hair with a towel, but she stopped when she saw me. A flash of shock and disgust crossed her eyes. I looked at her, then at my wife. My wife looked from me to her, grinning like she just pulled off a heist. Babe, let me officially introduce you. Su Yuning took my hand, while pointing at Lin Ruoshuang with the other. This is my bestie, Lin Ruoshuang. Then she pointed at me, and said to Lin Ruoshuang, Ruoshuang, this is my husband, Jiang Chen. The room went dead silent. Lin Ruoshuang's hand froze, mid-towel dry. Her jaw dropped. That usually unshakable face looked like it was literally glitching. As for me, I felt like a complete idiot who'd just been struck by lightning. So the IC CEO who just fired me is my wife's best friend. Are you two pranking me, or what? Su Yuning. Lin Ruoshuang forced the name through her teeth. If looks could kill, Su Yuning would be dead. But Su Yuning wasn't scared at all. She just giggled and grabbed Lin's arm. Oh, come on, Ruoshuang, don't be so mean. I just wanted to surprise you. Surprise? This is a nightmare. I watched this bizarre scene, finally realizing what was going on. This was a setup, a trap, planned by my wife and her best friend. I let out a dry laugh. So this was all planned between you two. Yup. Su Yuning admitted it without a second thought. She even winked at me, looking for a pat on the head. I was literally fuming. Why? I growled. Su Yuning answered, like it was obvious. Because I didn't want you to work anymore. You're out all day and night. We barely get any time together. Besides, what was so great about that job anyway? The pay was trash. And it was so far away. Might as well stay home with me. I almost laughed at her logic. Look, I said, raising my voice slightly. I was working. Trying to provide, she muttered under her breath. That salary wouldn't even buy me a handbag. It was quiet but Ruoshuang and I heard it loud and clear. Lin Ruoshuang's expression soured even more. The way she looked at me went from simple disdain to seeing me as a total leech of a husband. I closed my eyes, feeling a headache coming on. Great. My wife just solidified my loser reputation even further. Yuning, what are you even saying? I snapped. She pouted. I'm telling the truth. Babe, just say yes. Stay home and be with me. I'll support you. I was speechless. Lin Ruoshuang's face was basically thunderous. The icy CEO looked like she was about to explode. She'd probably never seen anything this messed up in her life. Her best friend, a multi-millionaire socialite, was begging to support a loser she just fired. The world's gone crazy, I thought. Lin Ruoshuang finally snapped. She grabbed Su Yuning's wrist and started dragging her toward the bedroom. Su Yuning, she growled. Get over here. Keep your couple drama away from me. She was pulling her pretty hard. Su Yuning stumbled. I reacted instantly and grabbed Lin Ruoshuang's wrist. Her wrist was thin, skin cold, and smooth. I glared at her. My voice went cold. Let go. She shoved my hand away. Total disgust in her eyes. Jiang Chen. Who do you think you are? Don't touch me. I said each word slowly, pulling Su Yuning behind me to protect her. She's my wife, no matter what's going on with us. You have no right to get physical. Lin Ruoshuang laughed mockingly. Me? I'm her best friend. I'm trying to pull her out of the dumpster fire that is you. Jiang Chen, you're a grown man who just got fired. Instead of figuring out how to get a new job, you want to mooch off your wife. Do you have any shame at all? I couldn't even be bothered to explain. In her eyes, I was just an absolute deadbeat. Explaining myself would just be a waste of breath. I decided to kick her out. This is our family business. It has nothing to do with you. President Lin, it's getting late. Please leave. Su Yuning tugged on my shirt from behind. She begged softly, Jiang Chen, don't kick Ruoshuang out. I invited her over for dinner. I looked back and glared at her. She immediately shrank back, looking like a kid who'd been caught red-handed, but she still insisted in a small voice. I know I messed up today. I didn't tell Ruoshuang the truth beforehand. But my intentions were good. Good intentions, my ass. You got me fired and made me lose face in front of your bestie. You call that good? Just as I was about to snap, a crisp electronic voice chimed in my head. Ding! Intense emotional fluctuations detected from host. Thought sharing system activated. Target, Su Yuning. From now on, she can hear every single one of your thoughts. My mind exploded with a million question marks. What the hell? A system, thought sharing. I read plenty of web novels before I transmigrated. I know this trope perfectly well. But why the heck is it happening to me? Suddenly, a crystal clear and cheeky voice echoed abruptly in my head. This girl is getting bolder by the second, teaming up with an outsider to screw over her own husband. Just wait and see how I deal with her tonight. I'm going to make her cry and beg for mercy. Wait, those were my thoughts. I stared with wide eyes in pure shock. And across from me Su Yuning, whose face was just a pouty mess a second ago, suddenly flushed bright red. Red as a boiled lobster, spreading from her cheeks all the way to her ears. Can she really hear me? I gave it a test run in my head. Wifey looks so freaking cute when she blushes. Like a little apple. I just want to take a bite. Su Yuning turned even redder. She instinctively threw her hands up to cover her face, her eyes all watery and darting away from mine. I was absolutely floored. Holy crap, it's real. I am so dead. All that unfiltered, dirty trash in my head. Is she going to hear every single bit of it? My perfect gentleman image that I've maintained for 3 years is about to completely shatter in a single second. Lin Ruoshuang noticed the weird vibe between us, and her frown deepened. What the hell are you two up to now? Su Yuning stammered an explanation, dodging her gaze, and nothing. My inner monologue was spamming like crazy. Wifey is even cuter when she's shy. No, stop. Hold it together, Lin Ruoshuang. The third wheel is still here. Once she leaves, I'm going to properly discipline this disobedient little minx. Su Yuning's body visibly stiffened. She stole a quick, sneaky glance at me. Her eyes were a mix of embarrassment, a hint of anticipation, and a dash of defiance. It was like her eyes were daring me. Bring it on. The blood in my body immediately rushed straight south. Kill me now. Is this system here to help me, or totally screw me over? I cleared my throat, forcing myself to cool down. President Lin, since you're Yuning's friend, why don't you stay for dinner tonight? I changed my mind. I couldn't kick her out. As long as she's here, I can restrain myself. If she leaves, I'm afraid I'll turn into an absolute beast. Lin Ruoshuang clearly didn't expect my sudden 180. She froze for a second, then sneered. What? Figured it out, and want to put on a show for me. So I'll save some face for your wife. I internally scoffed with disdain. Put on a show, my ass. My net worth could buy 100 of your companies. If it weren't to spend time with my wife, you think I'd be happy staying in your crappy dump? Su Yuning suddenly tugged on my hand and whispered in my ear. Babe, don't be mad. Ruoshuang just has a sharp tongue, but she's a good person. I know you're the absolute best. 100 times better than her. Her voice was soft and sweet, full of comforting vibes. The fire in my chest was instantly put out, leaving nothing but pure warmth. My wife really is the best. She knows how to look out for me. Unlike that ice cube face who only spits poison. Su Yuning heard that, and couldn't stop her lips from curling into a secret smile. She playfully scratched my palm, tickling me like a feather brushing past. I felt my heart actually skip a beat. Fine, since wifey is being so freaking cute, I'll let this slide for today. I took a deep breath and headed for the kitchen. I'm going to cook. You two chat. If I didn't leave right now, I was genuinely scared I'd pin my wife down. Right then and there, right in front of Lin Ruoshuang, I ducked into the kitchen, trying to cool myself down with freezing tap water. This is way too intense. Having your wife hear your thoughts. It's basically public execution level cringe. But it's also weirdly hot. Especially seeing her blush and get flustered just from what I'm thinking. It gave me this twisted sense of satisfaction. My thoughts started spiraling out of control. Wifey's waist is so tiny. When I hugged her just now, felt like I could wrap a single hand right around it. These bunny PJs are getting in the way. If she wasn't wearing them, stop. Jiang Chen, you're a gentleman. You can't be thinking this dirty trash. I was literally fighting a mental war while washing veggies. In the living room, Su Yuning's face was so red it looked like it was about to bleed. She was fidgeting, looking everywhere but straight ahead. She didn't even dare to make eye contact with Lin Ruoshuang. Ruoshuang finally noticed she was acting weird. Yuning, what's wrong with you? Why is your face so red? Su Yuning guiltily fanned herself. Nothing. Nothing. It's just a bit hot in here. Lin Ruoshuang shot her a suspicious look, then glanced at my back in the kitchen. She scoffed coldly. If you ask me, that man has totally brainwashed you. Su Yuning, I'm going to say this one more time. Jiang Chen is out of your league. Just look at him. He's completely useless. You're going to regret staying with him sooner or later. Su Yuning clapped back immediately. No, I won't. Yang Chen isn't useless. He just doesn't feel like trying right now. If he got serious, even you couldn't match him. In the kitchen, hearing her pouty, defensive voice, I was secretly over the moon. Yo, my wife goes hard defending me. But she's right. If I got serious, Lin Ruoshuang's wouldn't even be a match for me. Whatever. Gotta keep a low profile. Life as a boss is just this unpretentious and boring. Hearing this entire internal monologue, Su Yuning wanted to facepalm. Babe, can you stop acting out a whole movie in your head? It's so embarrassing. Lin Ruoshuang watched her face turn red and white, further cementing her own theory. She said with deep frustration, look at yourself. Look how badly he's brainwashed you. No way. I can't just stand by and watch you jump into a dumpster fire. I'm going to tell your parents tomorrow, and have them set you. Su Yuning panicked. Don't you dare. Lin Ruoshuang, this is my own business. Stay out of it. I'm your best friend. If I don't look out for you, who will? Seeing that the two were about to start a shouting match, I carried a plate of freshly cut fruit out of the kitchen. I placed the fruit platter on the coffee table, and naturally sat down right next to Su Yuning. I pulled her into my arms, and said softly, have some fruit, cool down a bit. Su Yuning leaned on me like she'd found her rock, immediately resting against me. As I held her close, my thoughts flooded her brain, like livestream comments spamming the screen. Wifey smells so freaking good. It's that milk-scented body wash. So soft. I wanna kiss her. Su Yuning's body tensed up, and her little face started burning up again. She sneakily pinched the soft spot on my waist, giving me a warning glare. I pretended not to notice, picking up an apple slice and holding it to her lips. Say, ah. She obediently opened her mouth and took a bite. Is it sweet? I asked softly. She nodded, cheeks puffed out like a little hamster. Sweet. I silently added in my head, not as sweet as you. Su Yuning paused mid-chew, almost choking on the apple. She glared at me furiously. Across from us, Lin Ruoshuang, watching our blatant PDA, had an expression that was beyond just ugly. It was a mix of disgust, contempt, and a tiny sliver of jealousy. She probably didn't even realize she had. She finally couldn't take it anymore. She demanded sharply, Jiang Chen, do you have zero shame? Could you tone it down a little while I'm sitting right here? I slowly reminded her, President Lin, this is my house. Getting affectionate with my wife, in my own home, is perfectly natural. My inner troll activated again. If you've got it, go find your own man to get affectionate with Wei. Oh, forgot. A total ice cube like you. Probably no guy would even dare. Su Yuning couldn't hold it back, and burst out laughing with a snort. Lin Ruoshuang's death glare instantly zeroed in on her Yi. What's so funny? Su Yuning held back her laughter, and agreed seriously, and no, nothing. I just think my husband is right. Ruoshuang, maybe it is time for you to get a boyfriend. Lin Ruoshuang was left utterly speechless. She felt like she should never have come here today. This isn't a normal house. It's an asylum, run by a psycho couple. For dinner, I whipped up 4 dishes and a soup, steamed sea bass, cola chicken wings, tomato and egg, stir-fry, garlic broccoli, and a corn and pork rib soup. All home-cooked classics that Su Yuning loves. Wow, babe, you're amazing. Su Yuning stared at the spread, her eyes literally sparkling. She grabbed her chopsticks, picked up the fattiest, best piece of fish belly, and put it right in my bowl. You work so hard, babe. You eat first. My heart felt all warm as I ate the fish. So good, I thought. Totally worth the effort. Su Yuning then enthusiastically put a chicken wing in Lin Ruoshuang's bowl. Ruoshuang, you eat too. Lin Ruoshuang stared at the chicken wing, her expression a bit complicated. Raised as an heir since she was a kid, her diet was strictly controlled. She hadn't touched high-calorie stuff like this in years. She frowned and tried to move the wing out of her bowl. I don't eat this. Su Yuning stubbornly grabbed her hand. Just try it. My husband's cola chicken wings are incredible. With Su Yuning insisting. Lin Ruoshuang finally took a hesitant bite. Sweet, tender, why? Falling off the bone. A long-lost joy of junk food exploded on her taste buds. Her eyes imperceptibly lit up. I secretly snarked in my head. Her mouth says no, but her body is honest. I watched her, completely unfazed. Su Yuning heard that and secretly kicked me under the table. Don't talk about my bestie like that. I raised an eyebrow, giving her a look that said, I said it, so what? Under the table. We were having a whole war with our eyes and feet. Meanwhile, Lin Ruoshuang, up top, was completely clueless. She finished the chicken wing, looking like she wanted more, but her strict upbringing kept her from reaching out with her chopsticks again. Dinner wrapped up in this weird, yet somewhat harmonious vibe. After eating, Su Yuning volunteered to wash the dishes. I made a pot of tea and sat on the living room sofa with Lin Ruoshuang, just staring at each other. Lin Ruoshuang broke the silence first. Jiang Chen, yeah. She finally asked the question she'd been holding in all night. How exactly did you and Yuning meet? To her, Su Yuning and I were from two completely different worlds. One was a princess, high up in the clouds. The other was a loser down in the mud. She couldn't figure out how the two of us ever ended up together. I gave her a short, sweet answer. Arranged childhood marriage. I sneered internally, like I'm going to tell you that to win her over. I've been playing the long game since kindergarten. I went to every school she went to. I took every extracurricular class she took. I read every book she read before she even opened it. What she likes, what she hates, I know better than her own mother. It took 10 years of planning to bag this little bunny. A basic like you could never understand my mind. The drama in my head could easily fill a 1,000,000-word novel. In the kitchen, Su Yuning was washing dishes and listening with a blushing face. Wow, so he did all that for me. Her heart was bubbling with sweetness. Even washing dishes felt a bit easier. Arranged childhood marriage? Lin Ruoshuang clearly wasn't buying a tea. What era are we in that still exists? I couldn't be bothered to elaborate. Believe it or not, she's leaving soon anyway. Once she's gone, I can. The little fire inside me started flaring up again. Wifey's PJs look so good today. That pink bunny color makes her skin look so fair. I wonder what kind of view I'd get if I ripped that bunny right off. I can't take this. I can't hold out much longer. Lin Ruoshuang, why hasn't this third wheel rolled out yet? Lin Ruoshuang suddenly sneezed. She rubbed her nose, looking around in confusion. The AC isn't on. Why does it feel so chilly? Su Yuning came out after finishing the dishes and asked with concern, Ruoshuang, are you getting a cold? Lin Ruoshuang stood up, sounding a bit unsure. Maybe. It's getting late. I should get going. Awesome. I was celebrating internally. She's finally leaving. Our couple time is here. Wifey, I'm coming for you. Hearing my explicit, completely unrestrained thoughts, Su Yuning blushed furiously, shooting me a reproachful glare. But then, Su Yuning's next words hit me like a ton of bricks. She grabbed Lin Ruoshuang, saying with concern, don't go, Ruoshuang. Just sleep here tonight. Look at you. You're sneezing. It's cold outside. Don't push yourself. I've already got the guest room ready. My head was suddenly full of question marks. Babe, are you really my wife? Did you not hear my internal screaming? I finally got her to leave. And you just invited her to stay. My inner monologue let out a groundhog-level screech. Su Yuning, are you the devil? Su Yuning caught my mental scream and guiltily shrank back a bit. But she still stubbornly said to me, babe, Ruoshuang is my best friend. She seems sick. I can't just let her go back alone. I thought, angrily, I don't care. I want to sleep holding my wife tonight. No one is keeping us apart. And then I heard Su Yuning turn and softly say to Lin Ruoshuang, Ruoshuang, you can sleep with me tonight. We haven't had a girls' chat in forever. I was completely speechless. My world just ended. That night, I slept alone in an empty room. Lin Ruoshuang stole my wife, and I had the bed all to myself, tossing and turning in the freezing guest room, wide awake. My mind was entirely filled with Su Yuning, looking so damn cute in her bunny pajamas. I viciously swore in my head, wifey must be missing me too. That Lin Ruoshuang is such a jinx. Just wait until tomorrow. I'm buying out her company. Let her see what it feels like to be fired. In the master bedroom, Su Yuning and Lin Ruoshuang were lying in bed. Lin Ruoshuang still couldn't let it go. Yuning, are you really not going to regret this? Su Yuning's answer was firm. No regret. Ruoshuang, you have no idea how amazing he is. From the next room, I silently gave her a thumbs up. Exactly. I'm amazing. Wifey has great taste. Lin Ruoshuang scoffed. Amazing. I don't see it. A grown man without even a job. You call that amazing? Su Yuning defended me softly. If he lost his job, he can just get a new one. Plus, I think it's great if he doesn't work. He can hang out with me every day. I was feeling pretty smug. You hear that? That's the point. Wifey just wants me around. Ugh, this undeniable charm of mine. Su Yuning was silent for a second. Ray, please stop being so full of yourself. Lin Ruoshuang sighed, giving up on trying to persuade her. You're completely under his spell. You have to let friends walk their own path. All she could do was be there to pull her friend up when she inevitably fell. The next morning, sporting dark circles under my eyes, I dragged myself into the kitchen, fuming, to make breakfast. Just as I put the sandwiches and milk on the table, Lin Ruoshuang emerged from the bedroom. She'd already changed back into her black power suit, and was back to being that untouchable, ICU CEO. She gave a cold greeting. Morning, Sal. I gave her a fake smile. It's getting late. President Lin, if you don't leave now, you'll be late for work. I kept chanting in my head. Leave, leave, leave. Stop being an eyesore. Lin Ruoshuang seemingly missed my blatant hint. She walked straight to the dining table, sat down, picked up a piece of sandwich, and started eating, completely expressionless. I immediately lost my appetite. What is her deal? How is she this thick-skinned? Just then, Su Yuning, looking sleepy and relaxed, walked out of the bedroom too. She yawned, walked over, hugged me from behind, and nuzzled her face into my back. She called out sweetly, babe. My annoyance vanished instantly. I turned around and ruffled her hair, saying softly, morning, baby. Go wash up and eat breakfast. I felt completely healed. My wife is the cutest. One hug and I'm back to 100. Hearing my sweet internal talk, Su Yuning's lips curved into a smile. She stood on her tiptoes, kissed my cheek, and then skipped off to the bathroom. Lin Ruoshuang ate her sandwich with a straight face, but kept throwing a side eye. That look was exactly like she was looking at a couple of shameless cheating scumbags. After breakfast, Lin Ruoshuang was finally leaving. Before she left, she called out to me, Jiang Chen. Yeah, she looked me up and down critically, and warned, even though I look down on you. Since Yuning chose you, I hope you treat her right. If you ever make her feel bad, I won't let you get away with it. I replied nonchalantly, you don't need to worry about that. She's my wife. I treasure her more than anyone else does. Inside, I scoffed. You should worry about your own company's mess first. Let's see how long you last without me. Lin Ruoshuang gave me a deep look, and walked off, her flashy red heels clicking away. As soon as she left, Su Yuning hung on to me, like a koala. She whispered hesitantly in my ear, babe, were you mad yesterday? I pinched her little face and shot back. What do you think? She nuzzled my neck to butter me up, and whined, don't be mad, I'll make it up to you, okay? Her warm breath on my skin was ticklish and tingling. My body reacted instantly. I gritted my teeth and cursed in my head, you little tease. You absolute little tease. I scooped her up in my arms, and strode toward the bedroom. Su Yuning let out a gasp and wrapped her arms tight around my neck. I tossed her onto the soft bed, pinched her chin, and demanded in a husky voice, "Make it up to me. Tell me, how exactly?" Seeing the burning fire in my eyes, Su Yuning's cheeks flushed, her eyes turning misty. She heard my racing heartbeat, and she heard all the filthy, X-rated trash in my head. But, instead of being scared, she hooked her arms around my neck, offered up her red lip, and whispered, "Whatever you want, it's yours." The temperature in the room instantly skyrocketed. For the next few days, I lived my dream life as a stay-at-home husband. My daily job was cooking up delicious meals for my wife, going shopping with her, watching movies, working out, and having deep, intimate interactions with her all over the house. Like in the kitchen, she'd hug my waist from behind, her hands naughtily tracing my abs. She'd rest her chin on my shoulder and whisper breathily, "Babe, what do you want to eat tonight? How about me?" The beast inside me roared, "I'm eating right now." I turned off the stove, spun around and lifted her right onto the counter. Or, in the home gym, after a set of bench presses, sweat rolling down my V-line, she'd walk over with a towel, but instead of using it, she'd stick out her little tongue, gently lick a drop of sweat off my chest, and give me a seductive look. "Babe, your sweat is sweet." My heart raced, and I thought, "Then have a taste." I pulled her down, and under the shocked gazes of all the single guys around, kissed her breathless. Life was filled with pink, romantic bubbles. Meanwhile, Lin Ruoxuang's life was a complete dumpster fire. Ever since I got fired, the company had been falling apart. First, a major bug popped up in a project I used to run. The core tech guys were sweating bullets and couldn't fix it for days. Then, the company's biggest client suddenly threatened to cancel their contract, citing concerns about the company's future. The stock price plummeted. Lin Ruoxuang was losing her mind. In meetings all day, yelling at people, turning the whole company upside down. All of this was exactly as I planned. Those so-called core tech guys, they were my plants. That biggest client? My uncle's company. I'd given them all a heads up before I left. I wanted Lin Ruoxuang to know. She didn't just fire a deadbeat. She severed the company's lifeline. That night, my private assistant, Old Wang, called me again. He sounded a bit too happy about the drama. "Boss, President Lin lost it in the meeting again today, even smashed a cup." I was cuddling with Su Yuning watching a movie. I raised an eyebrow. "Oh, does she suspect anything?" "No, she still thinks you're just an average slacker." She's blaming everything on poor internal management and is gearing up for some massive reforms. I chuckled, completely unfazed. Let her try. The more she reforms, the messier it'll get. I sneered internally, trying to play me. "Little girl, you're way too green." Su Yuning curled up in my arms listening to the call. Couldn't help but laugh out loud. "Babe, you're so evil." I hung up tapped her nose, and said smugly, "All's fair in love and war. That's what she gets for treating your husband like that." She blinked her big eyes, and pressed, "So when are you going to stop?" I held her tighter, and said, confidently, "I'll think about it when she personally comes, crawling to beg me." I thought that day would come soon, but Lin Ruoxuang was more stubborn than I expected. She'd rather work late into the night, stressing over that massive mess, than swallow her pride and ask for help. She even took her frustration with me out on Su Yuning. Over the weekend, Su Yuning and I went to a trendy new restaurant, and coincidentally bumped into Lin Ruoxuang. She wasn't alone. A guy in a suit was sitting across from her, looked like a blind date. When she saw us, she just shot us a cold glare, and looked away, acting like we were invisible. Su Yuning and I ignored her too, and just enjoyed our meal. Halfway through, I went to the restroom. On my way back, in the hallway, I overheard her conversation with the guy. "Ms. Lin, I think we're a great match. Our backgrounds are similar, and we can complement each other in business." Lin Ruoxuang's voice was as icy as ever. "Sorry, I'm not interested in you." "Why? Did I do something wrong?" Lin Ruoxuang paused, a hint of irritation creeping into her voice. "No, I just looked at that couple over there, and I suddenly felt totally disgusted. She was talking about me and Su Yuning. A deadbeat, mooching off his wife, and a stupid woman blinded by love. I can't believe my best friend fell for a guy like that. She must be blind. I stopped dead in my tracks, my nails digging deep into my palms. I admit, in that moment, I was genuinely pissed off. You can talk trash about me, but absolutely no one trashes my wife. I took a deep breath, suppressed the fire in my chest, and walked back to our table. Su Yuning was taking tiny bites of her tiramisu. When she saw me, she smiled sweetly. Babe, you're back. I sat down, noticed a little cream on the corner of her mouth, and instinctively reached out to wipe it off. Then I popped my finger into my mouth and whispered, "Sweet." Su Yuning's face instantly turned beet red. My thoughts echoed wildly in her mind. Wifey is sweeter than cake. I want to pin her against the table and kiss her. She was so embarrassed she wanted to crawl under the table. She lowered her voice, asking in a mix of shy anger, "Jiang Chen, what are you doing?" I looked at her innocently. Eating cake. Not far away, Lin Ruoshuang and her blind date saw the whole thing. The blind date looked a bit awkward, and Lin Ruoshuang's face was as dark as the bottom of a pot. She abruptly stood up, stomped over in her high heels, and snapped aggressively, "Jiang Chen, Su Yuningen, we're in public. Could you two be a little decent?" I looked up at her lazily. "President Lin, my wife and I are just having dinner." "What's indecent about that?" Lin Ruoshuang choked on her words, then aimed her fire at Su Yuning, saying with deep disappointment, "Yuning, look at yourself. You're so obsessed with this guy. You've lost all basic decency." Su Yuning's face went pale. She didn't expect Lin Ruoshuang to say something so harsh in front of so many people. She shot back angrily, "Ruoshuang, you're crossing the line." Lin Ruoshuang sneered, "I am crossing the line. I'm doing this for your own good. You'll regret this sooner or later." With that, she spun around and stormed off, completely ditching her blind date. Quite a few people in the restaurant were throwing us weird looks. Su Yuning's eyes immediately reddened. She looked at me, feeling so wrong, and whimpered, "Babe." I pulled her into my arms, gently patting her back to comfort her. "It's okay, ignore her. She's just jealous of us." I smirked internally, jealous of our love, jealous of our happiness. Pitiful woman. Deserves to be single forever. Su Yuning let out a small laugh, burying her face in my chest, and mumbled, "I don't blame her. I know she means well, but she shouldn't have said that about you." I kissed the top of her head, and promised seriously, "I don't care. As long as you don't think that way, it doesn't matter what the rest of the world thinks." My eyes went cold, and I declared in my heart, I'm the only one allowed to bully my wife. Lin Ruoshuang, just you wait. When we got home, I coaxed Su Yuning to sleep, then stepped out onto the balcony and called Old Wang, "Boss." My voice was as cold as ice. "Old Wang, move the plan up." Old Wang sounded thrilled. "Yes, sir. Boss, I've been waiting for you to say that." I hung up, looking out at the city lights, my eyes dark and unreadable. "Lin Ruoshuang, you forced my hand. I was going to let you bounce around for a few more days. But you absolutely shouldn't have. Shouldn't have made my wife feel bad." The next day was Monday. Lin Ruoshuang's company called an emergency board meeting. The main topic of the meeting was the company's recent stock crash and the stalling of several major projects. Lin Ruoshuang, as the parachuted-in CEO, naturally became the main target. The atmosphere in the meeting room was tense. One board member fired the first shot. "President Lin, you've been here for a month. Not only has the company not seen any improvement, but we've also lost nearly $1 billion. How do you explain this?" "That guy is one of mine." Lin Ruoshuang tried to explain. "There are major issues with the company's internal management. Too much dead weight, low efficiency." Another board member slammed the table, cutting her off. "These are all excuses. Lin Ruoshuang, we brought you in to solve problems, not to create them. If you don't have what it takes, pack up and leave." Lin Ruoshuang's face went deathly pale. She clenched her fists so tight, her nails dug into her skin. But she couldn't feel any pain. She didn't get it. She'd been giving it her all. So why was everything still falling apart? Where did it all go wrong? Just as she was out of words, and about to be voted out by the board. The meeting room doors suddenly swung open. My assistant, Old Wang, walked in. Behind him were several of the company's founding members. Old Wang walked over to the head seat and spoke calmly but firmly. Board members, let's not jump to conclusions. Regarding President Lin's position, I think we should first hear from the company's largest individual shareholder. Largest individual shareholder. A murmur ripped through the room. They all knew the company's equity structure perfectly well. The largest shareholder was an investment firm. Among the individual shareholders, no one held enough shares to have the final say. A board member frowned and challenged him. Old Wang, what nonsense are you spouting? What largest individual shareholder? Old Wang just smiled and didn't answer. He just stepped aside from the doorway. Then, under everyone's shocked gazes, Jiang Chen, that deadbeat loser Lin Ruoshuang, personally fired, wearing a casual outfit, strolled in lazily. I glanced around the room, at all those stunned faces, and finally locked eyes with Lin Ruoshuang. She was frozen in place, her jaw slightly open, eyes wide as saucers. That usually icy face of hers was written all over with pure disbelief. I gave her a smirk, flashing a smile that was practically wicked, and said slowly, President Lin, long time no see. How have you been? The entire meeting room was dead silent. Everyone looked like they'd been hit with a freezing spell, just staring at me dumbly, especially Lin Ruoshuang. The color drained from her face at a speed you could actually track. Her lips trembled, but she couldn't get a single word out. Looking like she'd seen a ghost, she stammered, Jiang Chen. I walked over to the head seat, plopped myself down, crossed my legs, looking as relaxed as if I were in my own living room. I replied calmly, That's me. She asked in disbelief, You? Why are you here? I countered, looking completely at ease. Why wouldn't I be here? As the company's largest individual shareholder, isn't it perfectly normal for me to attend a board meeting? Lin Ruoshuang's voice was shaking. Shareholder? You're a shareholder. I took a document from Old Wang, tossed it carelessly in front of her and asked, Otherwise, President Lin, before taking office, did you not thoroughly check the company's equity structure? That's not a mistake a qualified CEO should be making. The document landed at her feet with a smack. Right there in black and white was my name, clear as day, along with the whopping 30% of shares I held. Lin Ruoshuang swayed, almost losing her balance. That 30% hit her like a sledgehammer to the chest. She finally understood why she'd been hitting brick walls since day one, why she couldn't fix problems. That seemed so simple. Why the company's biggest client suddenly pulled out. It was him. He was pulling the strings the whole time. The guy she'd written off as a loser. The guy she'd fired without a second thought. He was the real boss of this company. And she, Lin Ruoshuang, from start to finish, was just a clown, dancing in the palm of his hand. How ridiculous. How ironic. Thinking back to the things she'd said to him. The company doesn't keep dead weight. You're a useless deadbeat. You don't deserve union. Every single word felt like a brutal slap, landing right on her own face. It burned. She looked up, her red eyes locked onto me, and demanded hoarsely, Why? Why did you do this? I just shrugged it off. Why? To avenge my wife, of course. Who told you to run your mouth and call my wife stupid? Watching her looking so totally broken, I didn't feel a shred of pity, just the sweet rush of getting payback. I clapped my hands, steering the meeting back on track. All right, chit-chat over. Regarding the company's current issues, here's my solution. In less than 10 minutes, I laid out the problems that had been torturing Lin Ruoshuang for a month, crystal clear, and delivered the most direct, effective solutions. The board members looking at me went from shell-shocked to full-on fanboy mode. This is what a total flex of absolute power looks like. When I finished, I turned to Lin Ruoshuang. So that's the plan. President Lin, anything to add it? Lin Ruoshuang just stood there, like a soulless statue. What could she even say? In the face of absolute power and dominance, all her pride and ego had been completely crushed. I stood up, ready to head out, and announced, if not, then, that's all for today. When I hit the door, I paused, glanced back at her, and threw in one last thing. "Oh right, forgot to tell you, I'm not firing you. Keep being the CEO. After all, finding a scapegoat as obedient as you isn't easy." With that, I didn't even look back at her pale face. Just turned and walked out like a boss. When I got home, Su Yuning was bustling around the kitchen in her apron. Hearing the door open, she poked her head out and asked happily, "Babe, you're back. Is everything sorted out?" I walked over, hugged her from behind, buried my face in the crook of her neck, and took a deep breath of her sweet scent. I murmured, sorted. Wifey smells so good. Way better than the smell of those old men in the meeting room." Su Yuning laughed at my thoughts, turned around, pinched my cheeks, and asked curiously, "Looking at that smug face of yours, did you bully Rua Shuang bad?" I played innocent and threw my hands up. "No way. I just helped her see reality, that's all." She shook her head helplessly, then stood on her toes and kissed my lips, saying softly, "Good job, my big hero." I leaned down and deepened the kiss, mumbling against her lips, "Not hard at all. Anything for wifey." The sunlight poured through the window, bathing us in its warmth. I thought, this is the life. Who cares about the company, or shares, or corporate backstabbing? Nothing beats holding my wife and kissing her. From that day on, Lin Ruoshuang was like a different person. She wasn't the untouchable icy CEO anymore. She turned into a true, dedicated corporate slave, clocking in on time every day, working hard, and flawlessly executing every single order I gave her. We had zero communication outside of work. She stopped coming over to our place too. If we bumped into each other at the office, she'd just keep her head down and walk around me. I knew she was still stuck on it, but I didn't care. I just wanted to live my perfect little life with my wife. Another weekend, I took Su Yuning shopping in a luxury boutique. We ran into Lin Ruoshuang again. She was looking at bags alone, looking pretty lonely. Su Yuning wanted to go say here, but I stopped her. I shook my head. "Don't." Su Yuning hesitated. "But," I said softly, "let her be." I held Su Yuning's hand and walked past her. As we brushed past each other, I heard her spit out 3 quiet words. "I'm sorry." Her voice was as quiet as a mosquito's buzz, but I heard it. I didn't stop walking, just replied in my head, "Too late." In the blink of an eye, another year passed, under my brilliant leadership, and Lin Ruoshuang's hard work. The company's performance skyrocketed. The stock price multiplied several times over. I stepped out from behind the scenes, becoming the youngest and most mysterious legendary boss in the business world. Of course, those are just empty titles. My biggest achievement is still my wife, Su Yuning. I fed her so well, she got all soft and healthy. Her cheeks got a lot rounder, and her personality got even more adorably sweet. The thought-sharing system became the biggest source of spice in our marriage. I always loved dropping explicit dirty thoughts in my head, making her blush fiercely. Then I'd watch her call me a pervert, while willingly throwing herself into my arms. Today was our 4th wedding anniversary. I rented out an entire beach, prepared a massive fireworks show, and a romantic candlelit dinner. With the sea breeze blowing and the waves crashing, we walked barefoot on the sand. Su Yuning suddenly stopped, looked up at me with her little face and whispered, "Babe." I answered gently, "Yeah." She looked at me with absolute sincerity. "I love you." I replied in my mind, "I love you too. Way more than you love me." She heard it, her eyes sparkling with tears, smiling like a kid. Just then, with a whoosh in the night sky, a gorgeous firework exploded, followed by a second, a third. Countless fireworks bloomed over the sea, lighting up the night sky as bright as day. While she was distracted by the fireworks, I pulled a velvet box from my pocket and got down on one knee. I looked up at her and said with deep affection, "Wifey, happy 4th anniversary. For the next 40 years and beyond, I'm in your care." Su Yuning covered her mouth, tears rolling down like broken pearls. She didn't say "I do." Instead, she dove straight into my arms, and under the witness of the sky full of fireworks, gave me a hot, passionate kiss. Far away on the coastal road, parked a black Bentley. Inside the car, Lin Ruoshuang quietly watched the two of us embracing in the distance. And the sky full of fireworks. A single tear slipped from the corner of her eye. She picked up her phone and sent Su Yuning a text, wishing you happiness forever. Then she started the car, turned around, and disappeared into the night. Some things once missed are gone for a lifetime. But my happiness has just begun. Holding the little woman in my arms, feeling her body heat and heartbeat, my heart was completely at peace. To hell with the business empire. To hell with ruling the world. I just want to lay back and be lovey-dovey with my wife forever. That's the best damn thing in the entire world.